Scenario 2. Flee from the fire. As you draw near the city, you notice orc patrols guarding the gates and columns of black smoke rising from many of its buildings. Several portions of the city wall are burnt and blackened, and loose stones fall from the top, but it is the intense stench of burning sulfur in the air which disturbs you the most. Strangely enough, there's nobody outside the city, which is closed up tightly as a chastity belt. Fortunately, you manage to find an unguarded wooden access gate, likely used by supply carts. The door is closed but heavily damaged, so you manage to find a breach wide enough for your head and peek inside. What you see freezes your blood. Drakes, there are dragons everywhere of all sizes and colors, either flying amok or just resting lazily on top of rubbish and destroyed buildings among hundreds of fires. And an army. Camped in the midst of the neighborhood, now flattened, are the tents of an army of orcs, an invading army, getting ready for war. You know what you must do. The Archmage and Lord Jenkin must be warned. You'll need to travel to the capital so the Empire can prepare its defenses against the invasion before it's too late. Just as you're about to quietly sneak off, a pair of green, beast-like eyes meet yours from inside the city. An alarm is sounded, and it's all you can do to exercise your last option available. Run! Our mission for this scenario: you've moved within the vicinity of Stonereach, the Red City, and found out about its garrison. Reach Highwall, the White City, which is friendly, as quickly as possible and warn the Archmage Dazar about the loss of Stonereach and the imminent invasion of orcs and Draconum. If you enter the capital city within the time limit of the scenario, which is 2 days and 2 nights, you win, and the scenario ends immediately. Otherwise, it becomes too late to stop the invasion and you lose. If you are knocked out at any time, then you also lose the scenario, so don't get knocked out. We have a total of 4 rounds. Our map shape is wedge. We'll have 7 country tiles, 2 core tiles, and 2 city tiles. So I think I did this wrong in the last playthrough. I should have had 1 more core city, or a core tile that wasn't a city tile. It is what it is. We're just going to keep moving. We will not have any city level, but there's lots of specials here. First of all, the Red City cannot be entered or attacked in this scenario. The portal map tile is not going to be used. The initial map setup is formed by the Red City map tile plus 2 random core non-city tiles, applying fixed tile orientation rules as per map tile numbers. We will be placing the White City tile at the bottom of the unrevealed tiles. That means we're going to have to go through 7, 8, 9, a total of 10 tiles. Normally there's a restriction for how you can explore, so you don't have tiles too far away from one another. All of that is going to be void. We can run in a straight line if we want, trying to get as far away from that Red City as possible. We don't have to worry about any of the restrictions of being next to another tile or revealing it within 2 tiles of another tile. None of that. None of those rules are required. At the start of the scenario, set aside the Red City card and place 4 red crystals on it. At the beginning of each round, starting from that second round, add 1 red crystal to the city card. So over the course of the game, we'll add 3 crystals to it. Due to the increase of local awareness of the threat, add 1 to the unit offer throughout the whole scenario. So we'll actually have 4 we can choose from instead of 3. Also, we get to take into account that there's already core tiles revealed, so we'll have 2 elite and 2 regular units. The first special rule is chased. Whenever you enter a new map tile, so not when it's explored, I was looking at the BGG thread and confirmed by the person who created this that it's about entering a map tile, not exploring it. Calculate the distance to the Red City by counting the number of map tiles from this tile that you're entering to the Red City map tile, always the shortest way. Subtract this number from the number of crystals on the Red City card without removing any of them, and roll as many mana dice, a minimum of 1, to obtain a result. For example, upon entering that first map tile, the distance will be 1, so you'll roll 3 mana dice. If you roll at least 1 red mana, a Drake has found you, and you must draw a Draconum enemy token. To resolve this encounter, you must either end your movement and fight the Draconum where you are, or use the Defend Your Homes rule, which we'll go through in a second. If you fail to defeat the Draconum, it will remain in your space. If you happen to be in a specific location, like a mage tower or a keep, then it's destroyed. Mark it with an enemy token. You can no longer interact with it, and you must retreat to a safe space. Consider the Draconum as a rampaging enemy for the rest of the game, so then if you move from one location to another location and you're still adjacent to it, it will attack you. We do not gain any reputation from defeating these chasing drakes, and you will always roll at least 1 die and it says exploring here, but I am going to say it's entering a map tile. That's how I understand it. Now we have defend your homes. If there is an inhabited location, like a village, monastery, mage tower, or keep, on the map tile that instead of saying explored, it's the one that you have entered, when the Drake found you and you have enough movement points to reach it, you can spend them to move to that location, dragging the Drake with you and fight it there. But if you do that, you lose 1 reputation because locals don't appreciate you arriving with a dragon on your tail. You can add a unit to aid you in the combat for free, even if you don't have a free command token, providing it is a unit that can be recruited in that location. And if there isn't one in the offer that you can get at that location, you actually can draw from the unit deck until you find one. You're not able to assign damage to the unit, and site fortifications have no effect on combat. But basically, think of that as the locals helping you fight against that Drake. Following the combat, return the unit to the unit offer or unit deck. Do note, though, if I move off of an inhabited location, I can't go back there for help because that's backtracking the wrong way. I always have to be going forward. We have our Hidden Snakes rule again. Replace Draconum enemy tokens exposed on the map, rampaging enemies, revealed ruins, etc. with brown enemy tokens if it's in a ruins, or a marauding orc token instead for rampaging enemies. We also have a common enemy. All keeps and mage towers are friendly in this scenario. Therefore, you can stop there to recruit units, purchase spells at mage towers, or use the defend your home's special ruling. No shield tokens are placed, so that means you will not get an increase in hand size with keeps, which is a bummer, because I love doing that, so that'll definitely be a difference here. For this scenario, we'll be able to heal all wounds before the next scenario. So what we'll do for scoring: take your fame as a base and apply the standard achievement bonuses just like before. No co-op or solo scenario bonuses. Then we get to score 1 point for each card remaining in your deed deck and 1 point for each card in the dummy player's deed deck. We'll score 5 additional points if the end of round was not announced yet in your last round. And then 40 points for reaching the capital. Basically, that's just going to help bump up our fame so we can probably keep at least a couple of the things from the last scenario and add a couple more. We have Stone Reach right here. I've placed ourselves right here. We have 2 marauding orcs right next to us. That's because normally those would be Draconum. We've got a keep right in front of us. We have a mage tower here. And we are trying to run as fast as we can this way. I'm going to use Tovak as our dummy player for this game. So he starts with 2 blue crystals and 1 red crystal. I randomly drew 1 card from one of the other non-Mage Knights that we're not playing in this game and threw it into his deck, so his deck is 17 cards. Instead of placing 4 red crystals on the red card, I'm just using a die to denote there are 4 crystals here. We'll now roll our mana dice in. We have a green, a white, and a gold. Each scenario, you will start back at level 1. So we're starting at level 1, but we did bring over 1 white crystal. I do have my 1 unit, the Ice Golems. Let's draw 5 cards. We have Snowstorm, March, Battle Rage, Swiftness, and Ice Bolt. Okay, now we have to choose which tactic we want to use for this day phase. Remember, we have 2 days and 2 nights to get all the way to the White City. For me, it's almost always between planning and Great Start, and I think this time I'm going to choose Great Start, so that means we'll get to draw 2 more cards right off the bat, but then our hand size is only going to be 5. It's a little risky, but I think I'm going to take it. He is going to take 6, so Tovak will actually go second, we'll go first. The 2 additional cards we drew were Concentration and Rage. We have an Orc Tracker and a Wolf Rider adjacent to us. Why I decided to add the 2 cards to our hand is because I think I can take both of them out in 1 attack. So what I'm going to do, I'm not even going to move for my first turn. I am going to try and attack one of these rampaging enemies for my action, and I'm going to drag this one with. We're going to have a little bit of fun here right off the get-go. We're going to jump into the range step and we're going to blow both of these out of the water. I'm going to attack both of these at the same time. Now, if I do that, any of the resistances that they have would be combined. So let's say this one was resistant to physical attacks and this one wasn't. It would mean if I combined them so I could attack them with 1 large attack, I would then have to make both of them be physically resistant. But neither of them are resistant, so I can do this. Instead, I need a total of 6 to defeat this guy during the range attack step because he's swift. That's the trackers. And these Wolf Riders, I need 4. So I need a total of 10 range. Well, to start us off, I'm going to use that Snowstorm. Snowstorm gives me 5 total ice. Then I will use my Swiftness card, powering that up with the white crystal that I have for 8. 5 plus 3 is 8. Then I will use concentration here, the top part, to gain a blue mana token and use that blue mana token to power up my ice bolt. That will give me a range ice attack of 3. 5 + 3 is greater than 10. Both of these orcs are toast before they even see the red in my eyes. We just gained a total of 6 fame and 2 reputation, and we started at +1 reputation thanks to how we ended the last scenario. This will push up our reputation to +2, and a total of 6 fame gets us only 2 away from leveling up twice, but we do gain 1 card and we gain a skill. We either have dwarven trails that we can choose. Once a turn you may enter a hill space for 2 move and a mountains for 3, and if you finish your turn on the mountains you gain 1 crystal of a basic color. Mountains are considered safe spaces for you. Or we have the Rune of Fission. Once a round, return 1 mana crystal from your inventory to the bank. Gain 2 mana crystals in 1 or 2 colors depending upon which crystal we use. Oh, that could just get us more crystals, but this can help us move, and in this scenario I think it's all about moving. So I'm going to choose this one. That means we can't choose this one at all, and then we'll flip over Tovax that we could potentially get next time. Oh, I might have to grab that just for this scenario. That is double time. Once a turn, move 2 during the day or move 1 during the night. We have 3 cards we can choose from: Pathfinding, Firebolt, or Regeneration. Pathfinding gives us move, so I don't know why I wouldn't pick this one, although I do love Firebolt. We'll place Pathfinding on top of our deed deck, and my absolutely favorite card, Refreshing Walk, shows up. That's amazing. We'll drop that mana die back in. Oh, it's black, so it's been exhausted. We have 3 cards in hand. We'll draw 2 more. We know one is Pathfinding and the other is Threatened. Tovak will go next. We have a green, we have a green, and we have a green. Wow, 3 greens, none of those match, so it's back to us. Well, I hate to say it, but we're going to have to do some card burning to get through this wasteland area. This costs 4 to move. We can't move into this location because there's water. Deserts cost us 5 to move in. So yeah, I think we're just going to have to push through and move into this keep, but that will cost us 4 movement. And then after we move in there, we're going to have to roll to see if one of those dragons attacks us. Of course, I should remember I have Pathfinding. I'm going to power that up with the green mana from the source. Move 4, the move cost of all terrain is reduced by 2. So it's actually only going to cost us 2 to move into the wastelands. So as long as we don't get ambushed, we'll have 2 additional movement to play around with. We'll move ourselves into this keep. We will grab our 3 mana dice because there are a total of 4 crystals on the card. We are 1 tile away from Stone Reach, so we're going to roll them. Hopefully we don't have any reds. We have a green, and a gold, so we're good. That means we still have 2 more movement, so let's move here because that will cost us only 2 instead of 4. Gosh, that Pathfinding card was way better than I was expecting. I was thinking it was good, but didn't read the whole card before I grabbed it. This means we can use our March card to move to and explore. It looks like we found our first monastery in this land. We also have another marauding orc. We have a blue crystal mine, and we have a magical glade. Because we have that monastery here, we get to reveal 1 additional advanced action card. This one is the Power of Crystals. That sounds cool. We'll put that into the unit offer, and if we go there, we could potentially buy this. I am pretty sure I can do this. Let me know if I'm wrong, but with Pathfinding still out on the table, all the costs are reduced by 2, so it costs us 0 to move here. So I'm thinking of moving here for 0. However, when I do that, I'm moving on to a new tile. We are, though, 2 tiles away from Stone Reach, so now I'm only going to roll 2 dice instead of 3. If we get any reds, no, we got 2 blacks. Ooh. If we'd gotten a red, we would have been ambushed, and that could have been a problem. I only have 3 cards in hand. At the monastery, I'm going to choose to do my action, and I'm going to interact. So I'll start with my reputation. My reputation is 2, so I have 2 influence. I'm then going to lightly threaten. It's not in a mean way, it's kind of in a way of I need some help. Okay, so that's going to give me influence 2. So that gives me a total influence value of 4. Then I'm going to play these 2 sideways for 5 and 6. So I can grab this Power of Crystals card because it looks awesome. It lets me get some crystals. And I have terrible crystal generation right now. So I'm going to place that on top of my deck. And I don't need any more units right now because I can only hold 1 until I level up. That felt like a pretty solid turn. I got a lot farther than I was thinking. Okay, we have a gold and now a white. I had used my entire hand, so I've drawn a new one. We have Axe Throw, Crystallize, Determination, Stamina, and that Power of Crystals. Tovak will then discard 3 cards. He's got a red, he's got a blue, and he's got a red, which means he'll accelerate by 1 more, and it's a white. I'll start off this turn by playing the Power of Crystals. Gain a crystal to your inventory of a basic color you do not already own. Well, I don't own any. So I'm going to grab a blue because I love my blues and I want as many blues as I can. Then I believe I'm going to challenge this Orc Mage, which I'm sure is bothering that monastery, and I'm going to attack it. I just barely don't have enough range attack, so I'm going to have to deal with the attack from this Orc Mage first. That means we're going to flip this enemy over. That is a Medusa. Oh, I was really hoping for something that our ice golems could block. I picked up these ice golems because you can see here they're resistant to ice and physical attacks. So if an attack is physical or ice and it's 4 or less, he can soak that attack, take no wounds, and we don't even have to worry about it. So I was kind of hoping for that. That didn't happen. If I had him block the attack, I shouldn't say block. If I had him take a wound from this attack, because we have the paralyzed ability, he'd get discarded. If I took a wound from this Medusa, I would have to discard all the non-wound cards in my hand, so I need to block this 6 attack. Remember how I made that blue crystal and I was excited to have it? Well, it lasted for not even a turn, because I'm going to use it here to give us block 5 and then play it Crystallize sideways for block 6. So that will block the attack. That means we can discard this token. Now we just need to deal 4 damage. We'll deal the 4 damage by playing Stamina sideways and then using Axe Throw with the white in the source to give us range attack 3. Doesn't matter what type of attack right now. It's just attack 3. This is attack 1 for 4. That gives us enough to take him out, and we'll gain 5 fame instead of 4. We'll also increase our reputation to the higher +2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 means we will also level up. We'll drop that mana die down, and we have, I think that's another gold. I'm going to take that as another gold. Heck yeah. Because we leveled up, we'll be able to hold another unit. Our armor goes up to 3, but unfortunately our hand size is still 5. I only have 1 card left in my deck. I'm flying through this day. I have Improvisation, Mana Draw, a March, a Stamina, and Tranquility. Tovak will discard 3 more cards, a blue, and a red, so 1 escalation. He's really not pushing us. There are currently 2 units in the offer I could grab from the monastery, but I don't think it's worth it. I think I just got to keep moving. I have so many tiles to go through, and I don't want to be ambushed by a Draconum. So I'm thinking of trying to get over to here. Now remember, the hills only cost us 2 movement, so I only need 4 to move to here, 6 to be able to explore. We'll use Improvisation and use it as a move 5 using the gold mana. We'll discard this Tranquility card, so that gives us 5 movement. And then I think we will, I might just play Mana Draw sideways for 6. We'll run ourselves 2, 4, and then from here we'll explore in this space. Now this is my kind of tile. Look at this. 2 mountains. I love seeing the mountains. I can get some crystals by moving there. We've got fairgrounds. We have a labyrinth here. I'm probably not going to do that because I'm going to use my move to move, but still. And I love how this looks. Don't you love that? Bill did a great job on that. We have our monastery here, so I have another advanced action card right here. This will go into the unit offer, Force of Nature. And apparently we found the catapult's brother that we defeated last time, and he's surrounded by these walls. Little does he know we can come into the mountains and attack him from there, so the walls won't impact us. That's a dwarf for you. Okay, I'm not going to do anything else for this turn because Tovak isn't pushing us. Because we are ending our turn in that blue mine, we'll gain 1 blue crystal to our inventory. We'll drop that mana die in, and we have a white. We only have 1 card left in our deck, and it is a Promise. So we have a Promise, a March, and a Stamina. Tovak will then discard the next 3 cards. He's got a white, and he's got a green, and he's got a blue. So we have a 2-card escalation. That's a red, and we've got a green. So next time he'll empty his deck, and then the turn after he'll claim end of round. I'll start off this turn with a March 2. I'm going to use this move to explore next to me. Although I have no intentions of moving into this space, at least it gets another tile out, so I'm kind of gaming the system in a way, so I feel like it's worth doing this. We found another magical glade, another marauding orc, we have a village, and another ancient ruins. But what's nice is we don't even have to deal with that tile then. We don't have to walk through it, we've revealed it, but since I'm not going to move onto it, I don't have to worry about the Draconum potentially ambushing us. I'll end my turn here on the blue mine again. This will gain me my second blue crystal. We have no cards left to draw, so Tovak will simply discard his last card. He'll claim end of round next turn, but I think I'll claim end of round probably before him because I'm going to do just one more thing. I'll use Stamina for move 2 and use Promise to give us +1 move for a total of 3. That is going to allow me to move on to a mountain space, and as long as I finish my turn on the mountains, I gain 1 crystal in the basic color. This time I'm going to choose white, so I'll have 2 blues and a white crystal. When I do this move, I am 3 tiles away from Stone Reach. So I go 1, 2, 3, fastest route. That means I only have to roll 1 of these mana dice. Don't be red. Just has to not be red. Okay, it's green. Oh, I'm good. Because if that had been red, I would be taking wounds because I have nothing left in my hand. Although that ice column maybe could have helped us. I don't know. But regardless, I don't have to worry about it. No ambushing. That will end day 1. We'll take our tracker on the red city from 4 to 5. Regeneration will be placed into Tovak's deck, and Mana Bolt will be placed at the bottom of the spell deck, and that means another blue crystal is placed on Tovak's card. A little bit of a bummer, that gives him 3. Still feel like it was better, the choices that I did though. I think that was the right option. We have Meditation, and what's our next card over here? We have Mana Storm. We'll also replenish the unit offer, 2 of the elite units, 2 of the regular units, and 2 advanced action cards. We have some fire mages and ice golems, shock troopers and Utem crossbowmen, as well as Into the Heat and Maximal Effect. We flipped our board to the night phase. We'll drop these in. We have 1 that's black, 1 blue, and 1 green. We've shuffled our deck. Let's go ahead and draw 5 cards. We have Concentration, Improvisation, Rage, Axe Throw, and Swiftness. Interesting hand. Generally, the first night I have a hard time not choosing Mana Search, but I do have a fair bit of crystals. So I'm thinking maybe of doing Midnight Meditation. That might help because we can't increase our hand size due to taking over any keeps. So this will allow us 1 time this night before any of your turns. You may shuffle up to 5 cards, including wounds, from your hand back into your deed deck, and then draw that many cards. Then flip this face down. So we have that as an option. We'll then shuffle these up and randomly choose 1 for Tovak, and then we're going to choose is the Long Night. So because it's 2, he will go first. We'll have him discard 3 cards. He's got a green and then a green. Bummer, why isn't he having those to be the last ones? Bummer, it's a blue. So he's going to accelerate 3 more times. Boy, that was 6 cards. That was fast. Although Tovak is trying to rush us, I still think it's worth taking out this Brother Catapult. It will give us 4 more fame, and it will clear the way for us to go to this mountain space and do more exploration. So I'm not even going to move, because if I did try and move, I could move over here, but you see this wall? If I move over here, that will not make him automatically attack us because he is behind this wall. So yeah, I think I'm just going to, for my action, attack him. Because this catapult is fortified, I cannot attack with range attack. I need siege and I don't have it. So I'm going to go right to the block step. I am going to use my golems here to block for 3. Then I'm going to play Rage for block for 5. And then because he is cumbersome, I can use Swiftness as move 2 to reduce the attack from 7 down to 5. That means we've now completely blocked the attack. All we need to do is attack him back for 2 damage. However, he is physically resistant, so if I use a regular attack, I need to deal 4 damage. I'm going to use our concentration card using the lower section, which will allow us to play the powered up effect on another card, and if it's an attack value, it gets +2. So I'm going to use my axe throw, which gives me range attack 5. 5 divided by 2 rounded down is still enough to be able to take out the 2 health that this catapult has. So this will take him out and will gain +1 fame. So that's 5 fame and 1 reputation. We'll move from 11 to 16 fame, pushing ourselves up to +3 reputation. The locals love us, and we're going to level up. We can choose Mithril Armor. It's a passive skill. Place the skill token on your hero card or on one of your unit cards and increase the base armor by 1. At the beginning of each of the next rounds, you can reallocate this token again. Oh, you can give them stronger defense. That's actually really cool with my Ice Golem. I can make it a 5. Physical resistance of 5, that would be insane. The other skill is Blood for Blood. Once a round except in combat, ready any number of your exhausted units. Take 1 wound for each regular unit and 2 wounds for each elite unit. I love both of those. Plus, I have Tovak's Double Time skill, and I was really thinking of getting Double Time. However, I really want that Refreshing Walk card, but you know, I just feel like in this scenario, being able to move is so key, so I am going to take Tovak's skill. Oh, this hurts a little bit because I really want this one, but I think for this scenario it makes sense. That means I don't have an option. I have to grab Firebolt from the advanced skills. It's the one that's farthest down the table, and I'll replace that with Ice Shield. Before I roll the mana die back into the pool, I am going to grab 1 red mana crystal, and that's because I ended my turn in the mountains. So now I have 2 blues, a white, and a red, thanks to that skill. Because remember, if I end my turn in the mountains, I get to grab 1 of the basic colored mana crystals. We'll roll this in. We've got 2 blues and a black. My next level up will allow us to have 6 cards in hand instead of 5. Right now we're just going to draw up to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, at least I got 1 movement card. Oh boy, this could be fun. Wait, what am I saying? I've got improvisation. That'll help me move. No problem. Okay, a green, a white. Don't be blue. Don't be blue. It is blue. He is going to kill me. Here's 2 more and another one. He has just gone through 12 of his cards in 2 turns. It's back to us. This is going to be a no rest for the weary night phase, I think. We're going to use a blue mana die to get a total movement of 4. And for improvisation, we're going to power that up with that red crystal that we just got. Discarding, I don't love this, but the power of crystals to gain 5 plus 4. That's a total of 9 movement. And don't forget, I also have this. Technically, I have 10 movement to play with. We'll use the first 5 movement, moving 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3. So we're in another mountain space. That was 5. We had 10, so we'll use 2 more to explore here. We found a keep, another mine, and another village. So we have 3 more movement left. We could either use 2 of them to explore here, or we can move into the hills. Now, actually, we only need 2 movement to move into the hills. But if I stay here, I get another crystal. So I think I'm going to be greedy, stay here, and I'm going to explore here with 2 more movement. We found another village, a magical glade, and another marauding orc. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to move anymore. I have once again ended in a mountain space, so I'll gain a red, I think, yeah, I'm definitely going to gain a red crystal into my inventory. Going back to having a red, 2 blues, and a white. We'll drop our mana die down, and we have a red, a blue, and a black. We have 2 cards in hand. We'll draw up to 5. We've got a March. We have our Battle Rage, and we have Crystallize. Tovak will now discard 3 cards, a white, and don't be blue. A green! Great, we do not accelerate at all. So far, we've done a great job avoiding the dragons. If we move on to this tile, 1, 2, 3, 4, we would be 4 tiles away from Stone Reach, which means we'd roll only 1 die. So I think I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to try and move on to this keep. If we do get ambushed, at least we can hit our reputation by 1 to have someone from the keep help us. Because it's a hill space, we can use move 2 to move in there. Let's not see a red on our die roll. Come on, let's see what we get. And we get a black, so we're still good. This seems way too much fun, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to have my ice golems threaten the ice golems that are at this keep. We are going to use Influence 5. Now it's going to hit our reputation. Our reputation currently is 3. So 5 plus 3 is 8. That's what we need to be able to recruit the other ice golems that's in the unit offer. So now we'll have double ice golems. However, our reputation is going to go back down to +2 because of it. I think that's worth it. I've definitely played with dueling catapults, but not dueling ice golems. Okay, we have a green in the source now. We have 3 cards in hand. Let's draw the other 2. Oh, pathfinding. Too bad I don't have any other movement here. Tovak, I think, only has 3 cards remaining. That means the next turn he'll claim end of round. So we have this turn and next turn, and that's it. And I have at least 8 or 9 cards left in my deck. With the fact that I only have 2 more turns this round, I think I'm going to use my Midnight Meditation. I'm going to take these 4 cards, keeping Pathfinding in my hand, shuffle them up, and redraw. And the redraw turned out to be mostly useless. I did get a March card, but Crystallize and Battle Rage were already in my hand. So it helped a little. Let's go ahead and start then with Pathfinding. We'll have move 4. The move cost of all terrain is reduced to 2 this turn. And I'm realizing I did not do a great job of reading this whole card. It says it's reduced to 2, not by 2. So those grasslands would not have been free. All right, I already cheated in this one. Oh well, we'll just keep playing. We'll move ourselves to 4, moving ourselves to this mine, and then we'll play our March card for move 2 so we can explore, and we're going to explore in this area. We have found yet another marauding orc, a magical glade, a dungeon, which I kind of think I want to go into, and another monastery, which means we'll have this ambush card also in the unit offer. That is 3 monasteries. I do still have my skill of double time for 1 movement, and I think I'm going to take my Crystallize and place it sideways for 2 more movement, and we're going to explore here. We have another marauding orc, we have a mage tower, a village, and another mountain. I think I was going to potentially attack, but I think I might wait because I get 1 more turn, and maybe I can take both of these on. Ooh, that would be so cool. But because I'm ending on the mine here, I'll gain 1 white crystal. So now I'll have 2 white, 2 blue, and a red. We'll go ahead and drop our die in. Oh, we have an exhausted mana die. So we have a black and a blue, and that's all we can use. We have 2 cards in hand, still only drawing up to 5. We've got a Determination. We have our Snowstorm, and we have our Firebolt. We'll use our Blizzard Firebolt, maybe. Okay, we have Tovak just claiming end of round. It's back to us. I'm going to see if I can maybe find a way how to do this. We are most certainly going to attack both of these rampaging enemies. Now, I'm going to start in the range attack step. If I decided to attack each of these, I could attack each of them individually, so then that way, this hag would not get the benefit of being fire and ice resistant, but I'm not going to attack this one during the range. I'm just going to take out the hag. I'm going to do a ranged ice attack of 5 using the blue mana die from the source, and that will take her out before she can do anything. We'll then allow this war beast to attack us. It's only attacking us for 3. I'll use my ice golem to block for 3. If we had not blocked it, he would then attack us for 6 because he's brutal. Don't have to worry about that. Then what I will do is just use Battle Rage during the attack step, attack 2. We've got Determination, attack 4, and we have our mana draw. I'll just place sideways for an attack 5. That's all physical. He is not physically resistant. That will take him out. This is going to push up our reputation by 2 more, which is amazing. We are also going to play our Firebolt to gain another red crystal to our inventory, and we're ending our turn, because I won't have any of the cards left and I can't move after attacking, at that mine, so we'll also gain a white crystal. I have so many crystals right now. This is how we're looking: 3 white, 2 blue, and 2 red. No green. The locals can't stop talking about Ymirgh. They just can't. We're at +5 for our reputation. Our influencing is going to be insane. And we have 6 plus 16 is 22. Oh, 2 away from leveling up. But we should be able to level up next time, no problem. This will put us to the end of round. Unfortunately, Tovak steals my refreshing walk, and he's going to take restoration and just gain a green crystal to his inventory. 3 blue, 1 red, and 1 green. We'll then replace that skill card with Expose, or I should say spell card, and our advanced action card is Song of Wind. Our unit offer will also be replaced, including the 3 advanced action cards. We have catapults and sorcerers, as well as shock troops and Utim crossbowmen. 3 more advanced action cards that we could potentially get at monasteries. We only have the core city tile left to reveal, so I'm actually doing pretty well for that. So this turn is all going to be about generating as much fame as we can. Oh, we can't have 2 of the gold, which is a bummer. That would have been really nice. Okay, we've got a white, a red, and it looks like a green. I almost forgot. We need to tick this up to a 6. We've readied our 2 ice golems. Let's draw our 5 cards and see what we have. We have a Snowstorm, we have Firebolt, a March, Stamina, and a Rage. This time I feel like I'm all ready to do a planning. I'm ready to have more than 5 cards in hand. Killed me this time. So this will give us 1 more card so long as we have 2 or more cards in our hand. And if we get 3 more, or no, actually just 2 more Fame, we'll go up to 6 cards in hand, which will be awesome. Tovak will take 3. Bummer, that means he will go first. Tovak will start by discarding his 3 cards. That one's red, that one's white. Don't be blue. Oh, white. Awesome. He has no white crystals, so no acceleration. We'll start with our March, plus using our double time for a total movement of 4 because it is during the day, so we have 2 movement with this inherently. We only need 3 to move into the forest during the day, but let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great, so still only 1. We're doing a really good job of only making us roll 1 of these dice, and we got a green. Still no red. We had 1 movement left over. We are going to use 1 of our crystals here to add 4 more movement, so we have a total of 5 movement remaining. To move into the swamps costs 5 movement, so we're not going to go that way. We're going to go 3 and 2 so we can get into the same space as this dungeon. I could go in there right now for my action, but I think I'm going to hold because I've got 3 cards in hand. I can now draw 3 more cards to have 6 cards in hand before I go and delve into here. We'll drop our mana die down. We've got 2 whites and a red. We have our 3 cards in hand. We'll draw 1, 2, and 3. Back up, so we've got our Axe Throw, our Concentration, and Ice Bolt. Tovak will then discard the top 3 cards. That was a red. Be a blue. Be a blue. No, it's green. Don't be a blue. It is a blue. Okay, 3 more cards. It is what it is. At least that one was blue. And a white. Before we go and fight anything this round, let's use our double time to explore our final tile. We have now found the White City with a keep and a monster den here, as well as another pirate, I guess, a marauding orc over here. But I think my action for this turn, I am going to go into the dungeon. That means we're going to reveal a brown enemy and fight it. And it appears we have found a manticore. Attacks for 4, but is swift, has assassination, and poison. Okay, I think I'm going to attack this thing during range and just blow it out. We're going to take our axe and chuck it at it. This will give us a range attack of 3. That's a regular attack. This is fire resistant, not regular attack resistant. And then we will use our ice bolt to end him. We'll use a blue crystal in our inventory. That's 3 plus 3 is 6. He's not resistant to ice. He's resistant to fire. That's the 6 we need. We'll gain 5 plus 1 because of the axe throw, 6 total fame. And if you defeat the enemy, mark the space with a shield token and roll a mana die to determine what your reward is. If we roll a gold or a black, we'll get a spell. Otherwise, we'll gain an artifact. 22 plus 6 is 28. That also means we'll level up. And now, after removing this, we can have another unit, but the big thing is our hand size is 6. We'll first drop our mana die to see we get a red. That means we'll gain an artifact, and then we'll drop the die in for the end of turn, and we have a green. We can choose between the Banner of Fortitude or the Diamond Ring. Banner of Fortitude. Assign this to a unit you control once around when the unit is going to get a wound. Flip this card to ignore the wound and any additional effects from it. This unit can still be assigned damage once each combat. That's kind of fun with the ice golems. Diamond Ring, though, gives us white mana. Yeah, you know, I don't really know if I need a lot of white mana. I've got 3 white crystals. 3 white crystals. So I'm going to grab the Banner of Fortitude. I'll put that on top of my deed deck. Our hand size is now 6, but we have 2 or more cards in hand, so we actually get to draw up to 7 thanks to planning. So we have 1, 2, a March, and 3, we have mana draw. Tovak will then go next. We have a green, we have a blue, and we have a white. No acceleration. We'll start this turn by using double time and our march for a total movement of 4. We're going to move to, these are actually called the spawning grounds whenever there's 2 holes like that. So this is the spawning grounds. We'd have to fight 2 brown enemies there. But let's first see if we get ambushed. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tiles away. So that means we'll only roll 1 die. If we don't roll a red here, we were never ambushed. We'll roll, we got a gold. So we are still not ambushed. Do you think we can take on 2 brown enemies? Yeah, I think we can, right? We don't have blue mana in the source, but I have a way of getting blue. Yeah, you know what? Do I want to do it for my turn? Oh, or do I want 1, 2, 3, 4? You know, I'm not being rushed by Tovak. Why don't I end my turn? I'll draw 1 more card, and then we'll dig into there for the next turn. This is our current hand. We'll draw up to the 7 cards, and we have a determination. Okay, this looks pretty good, other than the fact I don't have a blue mana at all. Tovak will then discard 3 more cards. We've got a red, a green, and a blue, which will be accelerated 3 more times. So here's 2 cards and a third. Okay, he only has 1 card left. I do think I will place a Banner of Fortitude on one of my ice golems. Then for our action, let's delve into the spawning grounds. It seems we have found a gargoyle and a minotaur. This is going to be fun. So this one attacks with a 5 physical attack with 4 armor and physically resistant. This is a 5 attack with with brutality. So if I don't block it, it'll deal 10 damage worth and 5 total armor. The first thing I'm going to do is play our mana draw card, and we're going to use a white mana die from the source. This is going to allow us to take a mana die from the source and set it to any color except gold. I need blue so bad, so I'm going to turn that red into a blue. And that's going to give me 2 blue crystal, or I should say mana tokens, that I can use just for this turn. We'll then place this blue die back into the source. We won't roll that one. During the ranged attack step, we will use our snowstorm and use ranged ice attack of 5. I'm doing that on the gargoyle because he's physically resistant. That will take him out before he has a chance to attack us. We'll then move to the block phase, and the Minotaur will attack us for 5. We'll block with Determination, using the other blue mana token to get block 5. As long as we block 5, he doesn't deal us the 10 damage. It's only if we don't block that then Brutal comes into effect. So we now blocked, and we can attack him to take him out. We'll start by using our Attack 2 from our Rage card. Then we will use Concentration to gain a red mana token, and then we will play Firebolt to get Fire Attack of 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. That is awesome. Both of them are done, no wounds, and that will give us a total of 8 fame, 4 for each. If you defeat both enemies, mark the space as conquered with your shield token and gain an artifact and 3 random mana crystals as your reward. If we roll a gold, we can choose the color. If we roll a black, we get +1 fame. We'll drop our 3 mana dice down. It looks like we've got a red, we've got a green, and we've got choose your own. So I'm going to grab a blue for that for sure. So we're going to have a blue, a red, and a green. And then just because on here, I'm going to drop 1 back in for our mana roll, and we've got a gold. That's sweet. Look at all of those crystals Ymirgh has. He is a crystal fiend. We have 2 artifacts we can choose from, Soul Harvester or Shield of the Fallen Kings. Attack 3, for 1 enemy defeated by this attack, gain 1 crystal to your inventory. It may be red if the enemy had fire resistance, blue, ice, or green if physical. And then we have block 6 or 2 block 4. I'm definitely going for the attack. Who needs blocking? 8 more fame will also help us level up 28 to 36. So we'll gain an advanced action card and another skill. I'm pretty sure I forgot to reveal Tovak's additional ability, so I flipped one now that's called the Night Sharpshooting. Once a turn, range attack 1 during the day, or ranged attack 2 at night, which is kind of cool. Our 2 that we can choose from here are either the Runic Force. Once a round, flip this token to gain 1 heal, or pay green mana and flip this token to gain heal 2. And you can actually flip it back as your action, which is cool. We also have Unyielding Will, and I love this one. Once around on any player's turn, flip this over to draw 1 card, and then take either a white or a red crystal to your inventory. Definitely choosing this one. I'll then flip a new one from Tovak. Ooh, that is Resistance Break. Once a turn, choose an enemy token. It gets armor -1 for each resistance it has. There are 3 cards here in the offer, and I can't say no to Mana Storm. Look at the bottom effect of this. Reroll all dice in the source. You can use 3 extra dice from the source, and you can use dice showing black or gold as mana of any basic color, regardless of the round. That just seems so cool. I might try and keep this one. We'll replace that with, we have Swift Bolt. I currently have no cards in hand, so I only get to draw 6. We have Stamina, Power of Crystals, Threaten, Pathfinding, Soul Harvester, and Mana Storm. Tovak will discard his last card, and next turn he'll claim End of Round. We're going to use Pathfinding. The move cost of all terrain is reduced by 1 to a minimum of 2 this turn, and then we'll use Stamina plus the 2 that we have here, so that's 2, 4, 6. We actually only need 4 movement to move here, 2 because it can't be less than 2, and this is normally 3 but minus 1 because of pathfinding, so 2, 4. We're next to this marauding orc. Now I'm realizing I'm not sure if you're supposed to play this with all of the shades of Tesla enemies, but I don't think it really matters. The only difference is normally you'd get some influence tokens. We're just going to count that as +1 fame. This is a Cloud Griffin. It has a swift attack, so if I want to block it, I need to block for 8. I'm not going to block. I'm just going to let my Ice Golem take the attack from it. The attack is only 4. We're going to immediately reduce that attack from 4 to 0 because it's physically resistant to that attack. We take no damage. However, because we did not block this attack, we have to use that elusive number of 8 to take it out. That shouldn't be terrible. We will then activate this golem. That will give us an attack of 6. And then let's go ahead and play the Soul Harvester for attack 3. That would be a total of 9. Attack 3, for one enemy defeated by this attack, gain 1 crystal to your inventory. It may be red if the enemy had fire resistance. It didn't. Blue if it had ice resistance. Green if it had physical resistance. You may always choose white. Well, I actually can't even hold any more white. I have 3 white. So I don't get that benefit, but I will take this out, gaining normally 3 fame and one of those influence tokens, but we'll just gain 4 fame, and while our reputation is as high as it can be too. 4 more fame will sneak us up to 40. We'll drop that mana die back in. It's blue. We have 3 cards in hand, so our hand size will be 1 higher, so we'll go to 7. We have Tranquility. We have Swiftness. We have Improvisation, and our last one will be Crystallize. The last card we'll play this round is Crystallize. When you play this, also pay 1 mana of a basic color. We're doing blue, so we can gain another blue crystal. I want as many crystals as we can. And then I think I'm just going to end it. There isn't anything else that I can do or that I want to do, so we'll claim end of round, and we'll do the night phase, which should be very quick. We'll give a red crystal to Tovak because of this flame wall. We will give him Ice Shield, which is blue, which is really terrible if I was worried about the next day. We're replenishing it with a Frost Bridge. That sounds cool. And our new spell is Chill. We'll replenish the unit offer. We have another Catapult, some heroes, Guardian Golems, and Utim Guardsmen. All those 2, I used them last time. And 3 more advanced action cards. We'll drop our dice into the source. So we've got a red, a white, and a black. We've readied our units. We get to draw 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let's see what we have. We have Swiftness, Snowstorm, Determination, March, and Soul Harvester. For this night phase, we definitely want From the Dusk, number 1. That's the one we want. We want to go first. We want to end it immediately. It doesn't really matter what he takes preparation. We'll then simply play Swiftness to move into the city. This will complete our escape. We have now notified the White City of what's happening with Stonereach, and hopefully we can prepare. I feel like we should score pretty well for this scenario. We'll start by scoring 1 point for each card remaining in our deed deck. We have 18 cards left in our deed deck. We'll go from 40 to 58. We then score 1 point for each card in the dummy player's deed deck, and that's going to be every single one of them. That'll be 20 points, so we'll go from 58 to 78. We'll score 5 additional points if the end of round was not announced yet, absolutely. That'll move us to 83. And then we'll score 40 points for reaching the capital. That will put us at 123. But we're not done yet. We'll score 5 more points for the 5 advanced action cards we have. That will put us at 128. We have 1 spell. so that'll put us up to 130. We have 2 artifacts, so that'll put us up to 134. We'll add 1, 2, 3, 4 more for the crystals, so that'll put us to 138. We have 2 level 3 units, so 138 plus 6 is 144. We did not conquer any of these locations, so the greatest adventure, all we did was 1 dungeon and 1 spawning ground, so that's 4 more points. That'll put us to 148 points, and we have no wounds. So that should be at 148. Okay, what the heck are we going to keep with 148? We can only keep 1 unit, which is a bummer, but it totally makes sense. So we're definitely going to keep our ice column. That's 30. We're then definitely going to keep our spell from last time. And since we had it last time, it only cost us 15, or I should say 20 instead of 25. So we've spent 50 out of the 148. We then are going to keep our Ice Bolt from last time, so that will also only be 10 instead of 15, so that was 60 out of our 148. We do, of course, have to round down, so this means I have a total of 85 more fame that I can use. So I am definitely going to keep Mana Storm for 15. I'm going to keep Pathfinding for 30, and I'm going to keep Firebolt for 45. I could then choose to keep all of these crystals for 40 or the Banner of Fortitude. The banner is pretty good, but man, those crystals, I think I gotta go crystals. If we're crystal ready, the next scenario, we're gonna start off super strong. So yeah, I'm gonna keep all these crystals. The only crystal I'm not keeping is this 1 white. We'll put that back, but that gives us our total of 148 or 145 total fame points. That's insane. That, my friends, was Scenario 2, Flee from the Fire. That was a lot of fun, definitely different than the first one. However, I do still feel like we're at an easier level. From what I understand, Scenario 3, it's going to ramp up a little bit, and then Scenario 4, we're going to be taking on a level 16 city. Now, I was planning on going to play something else, but how can I play something else? I'm very likely going to do a 3rd scenario, so I'm doing these back to back to back for recording. So that means if there's any errors I made in the first 2, I might not catch it for that 3rd one. That's okay. We're having a blast. After that 3rd one, I will take a quick break, make sure everyone catches up before we do the final 4. As always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Dobromir, so much for letting me play this Mage Knight. It's super fun to try a new one, and I'm really delving into him now. I'm going to do my 3rd scenario with him. I can't wait. As always, thanks for watching. I'll catch you at the next stop.